Hello, my name is Jimmy and this is your auto news of the week. This week we got some exciting news, so let's get started. First off, Kia. The 2021 Kia Sorento is out with strides. With some borrowed looks from the Telluride, the Sorento looks meaner than before. There's going to be 4 engine options available with the Sorento. The base engine is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, makes 191 horse and 182 pound-feet of torque, while higher trims get a turbo version, making 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. Both of these can be had with either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The turbo motor is mated to a class-exclusive wet clutch 8-speed dual-clutch automatic. This should make things a little bit smoother around town. There's also going to be a hybrid and plug-in hybrid variant as well. Using a 1.6-liter Turbo 4, the hybrid makes 227 horsepower, routed to the front wheels, and we have an estimated 37 miles per gallon. While the all-wheel drive only plug-in variant makes 261 horsepower and should go 30 miles thanks to its built-in 13.8 kilowatt-hour battery. Pricing hasn't been announced yet, but you should expect it in showrooms later in 2020. In more SUV news, as that's all people care about these days, Infiniti. Infiniti shows off the QX60 Monograph, a preview to a more upscale SUV. If you don't know, the QX60 is Infiniti's 7-passenger SUV that shares its platform with the Pathfinder. Launched back in 2013 as the JX35, it's gone through 7 years with minimal changes. For this concept, Infiniti hopes to capture some of its buyers back to the brand. As this is a concept, not much has been said about the powertrain or the interior. This is more of an exterior styling concept to show you what to expect of the real version coming sometime in 2021. But for now, we can take a look at what Infiniti calls its elegant and muscular design. There's definitely styling cues here from the current QX80, especially that front end. Volkswagen gives us all the details with the brand new ID.4. The ID.4 is basically the SUV version of the ID.3. Since in North America we prefer SUVs more than anything else, Volkswagen isn't even gonna bother bringing the ID.3 over. Just give us the SUV instead. This pure electric V-dub will have the purpose of the Beetle and drives like a GTI. At least that's what they said in their press material. We'll have to wait for the reviews to verify that. The 82 kilowatt-hour battery should give us an estimated range of 250 miles, and there's 201 horsepower driving those rear wheels. An all-wheel drive version will come later on in the year with 302 horsepower. What Volkswagen is most proud of is their starting price of under $40,000 before federal tax credits. In terms of size, it's 180.5 inches long, 64.4 inches tall, and 72.9 inches wide. So if you're thinking in terms of size, that's a Mazda CX-5, but just 2 inches shorter. In more electric news, Tesla BatteryDay. Tesla unveils plans to develop a 1,000,000-mile battery that could last the entire lifetime of the EV. They also plan to reduce the cost of battery cells to $100 per kilowatt hour, at which point it should reduce cost of electric vehicles overall. Tying right into that, Elon also announced, thanks to this new battery tech, they're able to produce a vehicle that's going to be priced $25,000 US. This affordable people's car will make it easier for families to get into electrification. On the other end of the spectrum, Elon really doesn't like the Porsche Taycan. So to make up for it, they souped up the Model S even more than they have before. Now the ultimate version, the Plaid. A 520-mile battery, 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, 200 miles per hour top speed. Pricing for all of this amazing power is just shy of $140,000 US. And it's not just outright acceleration. The Plaid was able to clock 1 minute and 30 seconds at Laguna Seca. And just to put it into perspective, that's faster than Randy Post in a Ferrari 488 GTB or the McLaren P1. In other sports sedan news, the M3 and M4 has been released. Sorry, just looked at it again. The new M3 and M4 is more shocking than just its nose, and for the first time, you can get the M3 and M4 with xDrive. Both models at its heart will have a twin-turbo inline-6. Making up to 503 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, it's fed through an 8-speed automatic for the competition pack. And for the base M3 and M4, you get 473 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, and that's fed through a good old 6-speed manual. 0 to 60, if you care for that, 3.8 seconds in the competition and 4.1 in the regular version. Obviously, there's going to be a bunch of technology that they're going to stash right into the car, but one that really stands out, it's called the M Drift Analyzer. So we can definitely expect some exciting cars and coffee departures. And if the standard M model just isn't enough, well, M Performance Editions can really highlight those details of your M3 and M4. Definitely not as fast, but a lot more exclusive than the M3 and the M4 is this orange SUV. For 2021, Acura is giving us the PMC treatment to the RDX. This was previously available to the TLX and the MDX, so they thought, why not add it to the RDX? With only 360 examples in the US and 30 in Canada, this thermal orange pearl RDX will be hand-assembled in Acura's Performance Manufacturing Center, also known as the home of the NSX in Marysville, Ohio. If you want one, prepare 58,000 Canadian or low 50,000 US to get yours. To be honest, for about $4,000 more, it's not bad to get into something this exclusive and hand-built. Who knows, you can return a hefty profit when you list it on Bring a Trailer like this guy did with his 5,600-mile Honda Civic. And that's it for the news for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Do make sure you stay subscribed so you can get auto news every single week. Take care.